Today we have an update to this whole Unity situation, and surprising to absolutely no one, they have decided to apologize. Probably because they ended up seeing how angry people were, and how much game developers were saying that this was an absolutely terrible idea, and how some of them were even willing to change engines, and some of them were also willing to go as far to completely take down their game if they go through with this. So they have decided to apologize, kind of, and come up with a brand new plan. So, if you don't know what's going on, let me catch you up. Unity is one of the most popular game engines to ever exist. A lot of developers use it, and it's so big that you have definitely played one game made under Unity. Now, one reason why it got extremely popular is because it's extremely easy to use. Now, I'm not a game developer, but this is something that a lot of other game developers say, and that is one reason why a lot of people recommend for you to go and use Unity. And it's also extremely big to make mobile games. A lot, and I mean a lot of mobile games are made under Unity. But something that a lot of people don't know is that Unity is a company that kind of runs in the red. So because of this, they want to go and make some more because they're a business at the end of the day, and it's okay if you want to go and make some more money on the side. What really matters is how you do it. And Unity ended up doing it in one of the worst ways I have ever seen. They ended up coming up with a brand new idea to make more money, and that was the runtime fee, or what I like to call it, the Unity tax. And this was basically that they were going to charge developers 20 cents every time someone downloads one of their games that's made under Unity. And also, to reach the criteria to get the Unity tax was also extremely small too. It was basically you had to only make $100,000 for you to basically get charged by Unity, and that is not a lot of money. So because of that, a lot of developers were obviously absolutely scared, and they did not like this decision at all. If you're like a big company who makes millions of dollars a day, you're probably going to be 100% fine. Yeah, you're going to be pissed off that now Unity's taking money that I don't think they deserve to take. You already paid them so you could go use their engine. Why do they really have the right to take more money? But unless if you were like a big development studio, you'll be able to take the hit. But if you are a smaller indie studio, it could be absolutely over for you. You could literally go bankrupt. So when this ended up getting announced, a lot of game studios end up fighting back and releasing stuff like this, which I think is absolutely funny that Cyberpunk ended up starting a brand new trend on how game studios relay their news to their audience, and it's by doing this. You make a little banner, put some text on it, and then also put the name of your studio underneath it. A absolutely beautiful trend that I hope never go away. Because most of the time when you see this, it's usually a studio apologizing for releasing a broken and unfinished game. But this time, this was basically a bunch of game studios talking about how much they hate Unity and how bad this decision is, and basically begging for them to stop. Now, I feel like if a company ended up making a decision like this, you should completely abandon them. You should not give them a second chance, but as we all know, that's not how the world works. And if you're a company and end up making an extremely bad idea, you can still recover from it. And Unity still could. And now that's what they're trying to do because they apologize and say that they are now changing their plan. Yes, changing. The runtime fee is still going to exist. Kind of. So let me tell you what Unity is doing now. Now they ended up releasing this statement, and one thing that I absolutely love is that every time when a big company makes a absolutely terrible idea, they always whip out the "I'm sorry." Like, that is just so funny to me, and they all say the same thing. Oh, we understand that there's a lot of confusion going around, even though there's literally none. I mean, most people who ended up reading this brand new Unity message probably speak English, and they could probably read extremely good, so we 100% know what you were trying to say. There was no confusion. You just came up with an extremely bad idea, and you got bullied for it. That's what happened. But I think it's funny that literally all corporate companies do that and whip out the "I'm sorry." So first, it looks like people who are making their game under Unity Personal may be safe. It looks like that they're not going to get hit with any runtime fee. They're also raising the cap from 100,000 to 200,000, and also when you make your game, you don't need to deal with the Made in Unity watermark. Now let's go to the second part, because this is when the stuff starts getting a little bit juicy, and this is when a lot of game studios are probably going to get worried. So it looks like for you to get hit with their brand new fee, you need to make around $1 million yearly, and that is a lot of money. If your game is making around $1 million yearly, you're probably not a tiny little studio, you're probably extremely big, so AAA or starting to become AAA. Even though I still think Unity should not be able to take any money from any developer, because again, they're already paying them to use the engine, I guess this is a little bit more fine, even though I still think this is a horrible idea. Now they are giving you a choice, basically a choose your own adventure, and that is option number 1 is a 1.5 revenue split, which is extremely interesting, and option number 2 is that they charge you on amount of brand new monthly users on the game. And it seems like most of these options are going to be self-reported, which is extremely interesting because I'm very curious to see how much data Unity is collecting on people, because even though this is self-reported, you know for a fact that there's probably going to be some game studios trying to lie, and they also say that they're going to be doing some checking themselves, and this seems like to be a way more better idea. Now let's be honest, I think the option that most people are going to go with is the first one, which is just like a 2% revenue split, which I still think Unity should not be able to do that, but this is a way more better option than the absolutely terrible runtime fee, and this is something that I feel like way more game developers are going to be fine with. Now this whole announcement is extremely interesting to me because why did Unity not just come up with this first? I feel like this is something that more developers will be fine with. I still don't think a lot of them will be happy, but this one is basically way more easier to swallow than the absolutely terrible runtime fee idea. So this is extremely interesting, although I think Unity should not be able to do this at all, because again, you are paying them for the service for using the engine. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got enough of money. They shouldn't be able to basically come up to you and steal your lunch money and get a little bit more, but this just seems to be more okay. Even though I still think if you're a game developer, you should not use Unity anymore, and I know that's extremely easier said than done, because it's really hard to, one, make a game that already exists, to completely change engines. That's something that's extremely difficult to do, and also it's really hard to learn a completely new engine too, because if you are a game studio and you're basically used to using Unity, and now because of this new changes you randomly have to go and change to Unreal, that's going to be extremely difficult and hard for you to learn. But I still think that's a decision that's worth making, because even though Unity ended up making this brand new plan, they are still basically charging you, and that is just kind of dirty. Anyway, this is an update to the whole Unity situation. My name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See ya.